So imagine if you're sitting here, you're getting ready for marriage, right? Or even if you're already married or in a relationship, think about all the things that you did in preparation for getting in that relationship. If you did prepare at all, did any of it include taking care of yourself? Taking care of yourself. Most women would say no, because most of us think about jumping into a relationship and sacrificing. I was having a conversation with my sister the other day, and I was laughing about it because I was telling her about how it's so funny to me, the things that as women, we were talking about something I was watching. And we come from an environment and a culture where marriage is extremely important. We can't come from a Haitian household. It's extremely important. So I was having this conversation with my sister recently, and I was talking about like a post I saw on TikTok or something. And it was someone basically saying something to the effects of women, really take care of yourself, because it was letting them know, like, this is not a joke. These are some of the things that women go through in relationships and how much years it cuts off your life, something in that effect. And there were women in the comments basically saying, like, they were in this kind of environment, this kind of relationship, this kind of situation. And when they ended the relationship, different sicknesses that they had, different things that they were dealing with, like, that stuff left them. And I was talking to my sister and I said, it's amazing to me how much we can have such a desire and a hunger to be in a relationship and to be loved and things of that nature. Yet most of the times when women are talking about being in a relationship, they're not talking about how a man is going to come in and serve them and support them, etc. Oftentimes they're talking about what they're going to do. So I told her, I said, it's amazing to me how much as women, we can be so in a rush to go sacrifice everything. And I said to her, because me and her were just talking about earlier that day about a job. I said, because no one sits there and says, oh my gosh, God, please, please, please give me a job so I can give it my all, so I can, practically be on the edge or the brink of dying because of the fact that, I'm taking care and I'm nourishing this job. Please give me a job where I can give it my soul, where I can give it my everything. Please. We would never beg to be in a predicament where we're going to go to work or whatever it may be and begging for an environment that's not going to treat us properly or pour into us. Yeah, I think about how many of us will think about the desire and the hunger to be in a relationship, and all we will be thinking about is how we are going to be of service in this relationship. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a nurturer, but I'm just telling you how that's a sickness within itself when all you want to do is pour, but you're not thinking about how people are going to pour into you. That's a sickness. And that's not an attack on you. That's something that I need to make sure, even within myself, that I am mindful of, right? Because when you grow up in environments, this goes back to, that hyper independence, that savior complex, that hypervigilance and all of that. When you grow up in environments where your interaction with people, other human beings, is how you can serve them, there's a pathway that's created neurologically in your brain where you equate relationships with people with pouring. So when I'm in a relationship with somebody, it's so that I can pour into them. That's it. So you see yourself as a utility, you see yourself as a tool, because your functionality in all your relationships, especially growing up in your household, is as a tool. So you don't see yourself as someone that when I step into a relationship, I'm here to receive. And you may not even be as open to receiving as you should be. So again, going back to Esther, I think about the fact that you're not even allowed to see this man until you can receive for a year. Imagine if God was telling you is that until you can receive my love, until you can receive my care, until you can receive all these things, the things that you're believing me for, the things that you want me to do. And let's say if you're praying for a husband, that will not even be revealed to you until you learn how to receive from me for the next year. And no, I don't want to receive. No, let me give everything. So I say all that to say, I'm like, this is my Esther year. This is the year where I am so intentional about my self-care. Now, self-care is something you guys already know that, I preach about. That's so important to me. It's so important in your transformation journey. It's so important in your healing journey. If anything made me like really, really, really prioritize self-care, it was healing, because as you begin to heal and you go through your transformation, that is very heavy. So you need to be able to nourish and take care of yourself. But for me, this is a year where I take it to another level. It's not just self-care, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Now I'm adding in that physical element even more. I'm adding that financial element even more. I'm adding in other aspects to enhance that self-care.